Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing good. It's crazy. This is the fourth video in 4 weeks that I share. I've never been so consistent ever on this channel. And of course, this is going to end soon. But, you know, lately I've been having something to share, and I hope some of these videos inspired you a little bit to make more music. So I'm working on the July project for the Patreon community. This month we had Reconstruction as a guest. He shared a super nice video tutorial and a beautiful sample pack, but the projects are always up to me. At least they have been so far, always up to me. So usually I make original music, so I make my own tracks and then I share the projects with my patrons. But despite this is very nice because it pushes you to, you know, keep being creative. On the other side, it can be creatively draining. So for this month, I've decided to make a track reconstruction, and specifically, I have decided to reconstruct an old school house track that I really like. So working on track recreations, of course, you lose a bit of the creative side on coming up with original bass lines, original chords, etc. But you activate another creative side of your brain, let's say, which is the ability of trying to understand how someone make that track and trying to reproduce what he made. This, of course, pushes you first to, you know, be very analytical on the track, and second thing, to try new techniques, new way of making sounds, making drum patterns, bass line, etc. And so this will push you a little bit out of your comfort zone. And I think this is extremely useful from an educational point of view. Now, some service information before going into the project. This project, you find it on my Patreon if you watch this video in July. But if you're watching this video later, then you will find it on my website. Both links are in the description. Alright, so the track that I choose for this reconstruction is a track that I got to know thanks to Leonardo. He's a friend of mine and a member of the Patreon community. He sent this to me because he just purchased it on Discogs, and I like the track, so I hope, Leonardo, you won't be mad at me if I share this track during the recreation. It's a track from the 98, it's called Matron 3000. So let's have a listen. Nice synths. What catched me since the beginning was the bass line, but also the drums. They are very tight. I love them. Also the synths. So there's a lot of things to get inspired by. Okay, some things are not that easy to understand. For example, the chorus, there's a... It moves from minor to major, so we'll see. Probably a lot of this stuff is also resampled by the producer from other stuff. So this is where we get in the unknown area. So it's not easy to know how he made everything. We just can guess, okay? Now, let's move to my project. So actually, I've already worked on a little bit of it, so I will walk you through what I've done so far. So you can hear the bass line is there. I have a synth here, which is a sort of loop that I found. It's not the same as the original, not at all. But still, it's nice. So this is one of the things that I was inspired by the track, but I'm not rebuilding it in the same way. What I wanted to rebuild as close as possible is the bass line. This is made with an Ableton preset called Bass Housey, but the original one was like this. So I added back a little bit of this operator just to add a little bit of more aggressive frequencies. And then the EQ to boost this frequency here. That I can feel is quite strong on the original bass line. Ooh, this resonance. Yeah, that's very strong, so I want to push it. This is without, this is with EQ. Let's move to the drums. The drums are kind of simple, just one shot so far. So what you can see is that I have a kick which is not the same as the original track. The original track is more of a 909 classic kick. Still 909 style, but a bit deeper. Then on top of this, I start to add the snare. The snare on this track, for example, is what I really liked. This is a type of snare that I never used in my tracks. So this is just already one cool thing and one good reason to make Reconstruction, because from now on, I will consider using also this type of snares or rims. So this is one. Close the filter a little bit and I linked it to the velocity. In this one is velocity is lower, so the filter is closed. This is one is higher, so the filter is more open, but also the pitch changes a little bit because I moved it down a little bit. Same thing with the second perk, which is here. This is closer, but since this is very stereo, and I did it because the sample already is a bit stereo, but then I added this gated splash preset from the Echo, layered with this. I keep a little bit of the clarity and the mono of this sound here, and on top of the other one. Then I have this snare here. This is something that I didn't hear in the track actually, but I thought it would have been cool to add some flavor, you know. And then what I heard in the track is that you always have this before the snare. Check it out. And I did it with the snare, which is simply reversed. And that's it. Don't think about the hi-hats for now, okay? I still have to do that. Think about the percussion. There is a little bit of movement. So first of all, there's to. There's the filter percussion that plays. To. I recognize it's a sort of white noise sound, so I did it with the analog. Took a white noise, applied a filter on it. I linked the velocity to the envelope. That's it. And then all the percussions. Oh, that's close. Let's try this. I know Echo has some nice presets. Let's try another one. Yeah, so let's keep this little variation so it's not always the same. I still didn't assign any swing. We'll do that in a minute. Yeah, let's create the hi-hat. So there's firstly Now we need another little detail, which I'll create in MIDI. So I'll take exactly this loop and drag it in MIDI. I will take just this hi-hat here. Yeah. Yes, perfect. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, in the bass line, I put a little bit of glide. So it creates this woo, this link between the different notes, the legato. Let me check. Okay. There we go. Then there is the check it out. So for that one, we take another hat, a longer one, and we apply some flanger. Bam, bada, bam, 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 bam. Flanger, where are you? So far, so good. So far, so good. I like it. Oh, now I heard there's something else. The analytical mind that moved from a hi-hat to some middle frequencies. Check it out. There's a conga. Let's find a conga. I have to put the other one. I think we have the main groove. Oh. So these are the two main synths. This track is even faster, I think it's 120. So we have to put the swing. I was forgetting. There we go, 62. Yeah, so let's move to the chords now. Okay, I have this, but this is not the right chord, so that won't be easy, I tell you. So we go into strings. Ah, that sucks, guys. I start with a triad, so the F minor chord. Now I want to give it a lo-fi vibe. So I will go here on the Redux. This is not as good as the Ableton 11 one, but we put this to 12-bit. This doesn't do anything anyway. Let's give it some erosion instead. And I think a bit of movement on the filter would also be nice. Or, you know, with a chorus or something like that. Now let's put a filter. So slight movement. There we go. So it changes. Okay, let's move to the synth now. Let's start from here. This is a nice. Okay, we got it. First of all, we need to find the sound. I think this is a sound that could be made with the analog as well. It's not easy. Doesn't work at all. Maybe I can try to do this. Instead of doing the chord transition, just do a pitch bend. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. I think that's how we did it. Pitch bend range. If you don't have a pitch bend on the keyboard, to draw a pitch bend, you need to go inside the MIDI clip. Here on the envelopes, MIDI controls pitch bend, and then you draw it. Oh yeah, give me some flanger. I'd like to warm it up somewhere, some way. Tremolo effect on it. And maybe a little bit of autopan left to right. Hey, it's Francesco from the future here. While I was finishing the track, I realized that actually the pad is a little bit more complicated than that. It's not simply made by pitch bending the same chord, but actually there's a chord change. So there's a pitch bend to blend one chord into another, but there's actually chord change. In fact, it moves from a minor chord to something that felt more major to me, and it's actually a major chord, and precisely it's moving from, this is an F minor ninth, this is an F major, an F seventh, so it's an F major with the seventh, okay? And the pitch bend to blend the chords in and out. So let's check how it sounds. Wait, this is how it sounds. All right. So if I go to the original one, it's that one. Okay, so that's the chord. It took me a lot to understand which chord it was making. Actually, now that I see, it's just an F major seventh, so it's super easy chord, but I didn't know, and it took me a long while, but I made it. So from now on, in the rest of the video, you will be hearing the wrong chord, but you know how it's done now. Now we need this. I don't think this is particularly difficult. I actually think it's easier to start from this. Oh, there's another piano. Never ends. Yeah, I won't make that piano, okay? It's already a super long video, so I won't make that piano, but let's make this sounding a little bit better. There's also piano. These are all good things to learn to do so that you know how to create the options. Okay guys. What I'm noticing is that despite a lot of the elements are close to the original track, it's not easy to get the same vintage vibes, I would say. First, because I choose the kick, which is a little bit too modern, I must say. So having a more, rough 909 kick would be surely close to the original, but also because it's always difficult to, get to that vibes, that types of sound when you're making music with modern means. So using samples that are old school samples is a great thing to do, but still there's always something missing, or there's always something that takes way more time to craft and understand how it works. I think though that the main thing here is that the fact that I choose the kick, which is not ideal. It's too modern, it's too deep, it's too subby. I'm curious to try that though. If I take a 909, for example this, let's see how this would sound. Another thing already, so yeah, that's important. All right guys, You got it! I hope you got inspired by this video, because that's what I want to do. If you want to have this project, it's on my Patreon. That's it. It was fun. It was fun. Hope it's close to the original one. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.